Pipeline protesters in North Dakota face a deadline tomorrow set by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to clear out of their camp. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe has stood their ground for months, facing dogs and police water cannons. Yesterday, the protesters were joined by a group of allies when more than 2,000 U.S. military veterans converged on Standing Rock in a show of solidarity with the protesters.
We've got to recognize that this is not a choice between economic opportunity and jobs versus water. Without water, there is no life, there is no economy, there is no jobs. The thousands of people gathered here are here to say water is life. That must be respected and protected.
Growing up in Hawaii, we grew up outside. We grew up hiking, we grew up playing in the ocean. Environmentalism wasn't just a fancy word, it was a way of life. How could you not fight to protect our oceans? How could you not fight to protect our air and our land? Because this was our home.
I've got a story for you. What I saw at Standing Rock. Yeah. I saw young people. They call themselves water protectors. They were in the water on the banks of a place called Turtle Island, their sacred burial ground. And the police were lined up on that shoreline. These were people in the water in November, freezing and praying, and looking at that line of police and saying, "We are praying for you. We are praying for your water. We are praying for your children." And the whole line of them were maced and pepper sprayed. And they did not fight back in anger. They cried tears of joy and went back to the shore, and a new line came up. And they said, "We are fighting for you. We are praying for you."
I want to close with an experience that I had back in November of 2016, where I answered a call to action along with thousands of veterans from across the country. We all converged at Standing Rock in North Dakota, and I heard from a couple of them that this was the very first time that they felt that they had a higher purpose to serve and protect since they had worn the uniform, because they understood that without water there is no life. It's such a twisted sense of priorities. All of our veterans who have gathered here have a great opportunity to help uplift the peaceful voices of those who have been here for so long, to lift the voices of the Standing Rock Sioux, to say we are gathered here to speak as one voice to protect our water.
That stand that is happening there at the camps where you will never touch a dollar bill, where you will never touch your ATM card, which run on something different, a different series of values. They run on resilience, on generosity, on community, on helping your fellow man and woman. They run on something different than the corporate greed and institutionalized racism and institutionalized violence that this administration wants to run on. But we are going to be something different. We are going to be something new. We are not going to encourage that kind of hate and division. We are going to say we are building something out of love. We are building something out of vulnerability. Go ahead, pepper spray us. Go ahead, mace us, shoot at us. Do what you need to do. But we are going to come back at you with love.
What will it take to overcome these seemingly insurmountable challenges? We, the people, standing together, rising up and making sure that our voices are heard, standing united in this spirit of aloha. The real meaning of aloha is I love you. I care about you. It's a recognition of our unity. To care for each other and then to take action because of that care. When we stand united, caring for one another and for our planet, we can take bold action to address this climate crisis that we are facing. To end these terrible fossil fuel subsidies, end our addiction on fossil fuels, and invest in green, renewable energy for today and for generations to come.
This is not a political issue, it's not a partisan issue, it's not an us versus them issue, it is a life issue. And the more that we can bring focus and attention to that, taking that high road, focusing on that most critical message that's important to all people and all living beings and our planet, I believe that that message can penetrate and we can bring about change.